The sun was setting over the dusty plains of Texas, casting a golden glow over the endless miles of desert landscape. Amidst the desolate scene, a young girl named Maria stood out. Her dark hair cascaded down her back like a waterfall of night, and her skin had the warm, golden undertones of the Peruvian sun. But despite her beauty, Maria's eyes held a sadness, a quiet desperation that hinted at a life more complicated than her years should have known. Maria was a call girl forced into the sex trade by a pimp who had promised her a better life in America. With the Harris-Biden administration opening the southern borders, Maria had made the dangerous journey north, traveling through Texas and eventually finding herself in Jacksonville, Florida. Now she was trapped in a dingy motel off University Boulevard, at the mercy of whatever clients came her way. She longed for escape, for a way out of the dangerous and degrading world she had been dragged into. But like so many others, Maria felt trapped, with no clear path to freedom. As another client arrived, Maria steeled herself for what was to come. She greeted the man with a forced smile, taking the cash he offered and turning her back to count it. With a flick of her wrist, she dropped her towel, revealing the young body that was her only commodity in this cruel trade. The man stood there, taking in the sight of her, his eyes filled with a lust that made Maria's skin crawl. At his command, she told him to undress and lie on the bed. And like many times before, Maria was trapped in a nightmare. The man was old, his body flabby and weak, but his eyes held a hunger, a repulsive and heartbreaking desperation. Maria realized that he too was trapped in his own way, driven by loneliness and lust to seek out the company of any woman. It was a twisted transaction, one that left both parties feeling dirty and degraded. And yet, they both continued, causing a cycle of exploitation and desire. As the encounter drew to a close, Maria found herself wondering who the greater wrongdoer was: the man who paid to use her body like an object, or Maria herself, who sold herself despite the pain and shame it brought. The questions swirled in her head, a constant reminder of her moral dilemma. The man offered to take her away, to be with her. But Maria knew she could not accept. She needed the money, and she had a status to uphold in the eyes of her pimp. So she sent the man on his way and readied herself for the next and the next, lost in a never-ending cycle of exploitation.